Okay. So I know I'm late, but it's only like 3 minutes late. Okay, so reserve your judgment. Um, if you notice the background, the TV, the gameplay isn't going, it's simply because my TV is doing something weird with the remote and it is just refusing to cooperate. So there won't be anything going on in the backdrop tonight. So without further ado, let's go on and get into this intro. Oh, hold on. Let me get myself back in order. Oh, wrong scene. What is up, heifers? It is your girl Tia Trichet, and you are tuned into another episode of Man About Tea. I have lost count of which episode number it is. It'll be somewhere in the description or on the screen or somewhere. It'll be somewhere, after we're done with the live stream. But if you already saw the title, then that means you know what we here to get into. We're going to be reacting to a video that D'angelo Wallace did regarding Little Nas X. Had a brain fart. Excuse me. So y'all remember Lil Nas X dropped his song "Call Me by Your Name" and dropped his Satan Shoe collab, and it had the internet in a tizzy, my dear. Well, D'angelo, one of YouTube's most notable commentators, has something to say about the release of the shoe and also something to say about the song and just the whole thing in general. Now, y'all know where I stand on it. If you haven't already, go ahead and check that live. But thank you to everybody that's tuning in. I'm trying my best to respond to y'all chats tonight. But if you're catching this on the replay, please make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. Now let's get into it. So I already pretty much had it queued up to where I won't be sitting here watching no advertisements. So let's get into it right now. Give me a moment. All right, let's play.
So what are we about to do right now? We're going to look at the controversy surrounding Lil Nas X, a sneaker design, and Satan, apparently. The reason this matters is because this has been trending on Twitter every single
Y'all
day
let me know in
for
the chat
nearly
if the
a
audio's
week.
okay.
And I think it brings up some very interesting points, which I can't wait to dive into. Before we do that, today's comment shoutout says, why does no one talk about how D'angelo has the best thumbnail face? It is a fact that my thumbnail face game is very much on point. Look at these faces right here. It's actually a problem at this point. I wake up out of my sleep sometimes like this. So the two parties we're talking about here, Lil Nas X, a rapper who released a video for a song called Montero in which he descends into hell, gives Satan a lap dance as a metaphor for accepting the fact that people tell him he's going to hell for being gay. It's a lie. And on the other hand, Twitter went off, but there were some pretty key people who were bringing up what they thought were valid concerns against him doing this in the first place. The main one.
So already right there, that's where I kind of was like, I see where this is about to go left. He said they're bringing up what they thought were valid concerns. Now, see, here at Mad About Tea, we're trying to cultivate a environment to where everybody's opinion is their opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily have to agree with you. You don't necessarily have to agree with me. But at the end of the day, we agree that you have the right to have an opinion. So I'm not going to tell you that your opinion is less than, or, well, you thought that was the right thing to say. That's your opinion. You're more than entitled to it. That's why it's called an opinion and not a fact. But that was where I started to notice that, okay, it's about to take a turn. So once it got to about 2 minutes in, You'll see. Let's just keep going.
Ones I want to talk about are Joyner Lucas and the gun girl. What's her name? Caitlyn Bennett? I don't know. Does she have a name? Doesn't matter. Does anybody care? Joyner Lucas is a fellow rapper.
I will say I agreed about the Caitlyn Bennett piece. Let's continue.
It's like Lil Nas X. So he said, I think the biggest problem for me is the fact that Lil Nas X doesn't understand Old Town Road is every kid's anthem. Children love him for that record. They tuned in and subscribed to his channels. So with no disclaimer, he just dropped some left field stuff and all of our kids seen it. SMH. So Lil Nas X responds himself and says, I literally sing about lean and adultery in Old Town Road. You decided to let your child listen. Blame yourself, which I can't help but agree with. If you go to the thumbnail for this song, Montero by Lil Nas X, there's no way on earth that he can be pandering to children with this. Does this look like something that a child should be clicking into? He literally has.
Okay. And talking to toddlers, the boy had a Roblox concert. Who in the world is on Roblox? I'll wait. If you're catching it on the replay, leave it in the comments. Who in the world is actually consuming Roblox? More often than not, it is going to be children. Now, let's take a step back. When he came out, that song was popular on TikTok. All the little kids were doing their little challenges to it. Most of the songs that come out on TikTok right now, you're not really listening to the whole song. You're trying to get that little sound bite so you can do your little jig and you're good. Right? Okay, so are children really just out here singing the whole kit and caboodle? A lot of them really weren't. And they're trying to paint this picture as to, yeah, well, there was adult content in Old Town Roads as well. And you watch your children. Even the children with the strictest of parents can get away with something twice a day. Okay? Let's not sit here and act like folks didn't wait for their parents to fall asleep so they can start acting real reckless. It happens. You cannot monitor your children 24/7. Every generation is always going to be smarter than the last. They'll figure out a way around it, baby. That's that. And I think they're trying to downplay how much he was actually marketed towards children in an effort to give him an excuse for the content he's trying to push now. But let's continue to listen to Mr. Wallace.
I do not understand the criticism that this is somehow pandering to children. Joyner Lucas is kind of acting like this was a surprise drop, but Lil Nas X teased this song months ago. Everyone who knows Lil Nas X has been waiting for him to drop this, and we all knew exactly what it was going to be about.
Okay. He said they were waiting for them to drop it months ago. Yeah, but y'all wasn't ready for that. Nobody expected that video or none of this rollout. Everybody pretty much expected regular old, at the most, holiday vibes. Y'all see Lil Nas X song and video Holiday? Yeah, he throwing out his little gay innuendos. All right, do your thing. But they weren't expecting this visual to come along with it. So regardless of the fact that they were waiting for the song, which I will give it to them, it's a catchy little tune. You listen to it more than once, and it's stuck in your head. It's a catchy little tune. But a lot of people say that once they see the visual to a song, it enhances their experience of that song. So now, instead of you just listening to a song and hearing a man embrace his homosexuality boldly in the hip-hop community, you're now having to battle with your religious views as well as whether you enjoy this song or not. And a lot of people are just going to choose their religious views because, like I said when I reacted to it, I don't play with spirits. I don't play with demons. I don't play with none of that stuff. I'm too scary for any of that. You ain't gonna catch me with no Ouija boards. You're not gonna catch me touring no haunted house. I don't do it. I just do not do it. I'm too scary for that. Okay? I will not be in my bed arising like doggone The Exorcist. It won't be me. But there are some people who are a lot more comfortable with disrespecting Christianity and are okay with that. But let's continue.
Based off of the title. Blaming him, I found that very strange. One thing that a lot of people tried to say is Lil Nas X has associated with children before. He performed a concert with Roblox. He definitely went on Sesame Street. He did perform Old Town Road at a gym with a bunch of kids. But since when does that mean he's a for kids artist? Why are people acting like it's new for singers?
Okay, let me rewind that.
He performed a concert with Roblox.
Look at that. Roblox. Since when does that mean he's for kids? That doesn't mean that he's... Let me put it like this. When you come in and you have a marketing strategy, let's look at Destiny's Child. They were marketing to a specific audience. They came out marketing to women and young teenage girls. Okay? Look at Destiny's Child. Look at the whole image. Picture the whole thing. They didn't all of a sudden come out with a doggone video of them in thongs trying to capture the minds of little boys and talking about something this was innovative. No. They released music and they released things that were for their target audience. That's how you remain successful. You cultivate a fan base and you stick to it. Period. So you come out and you're doing things that are geared towards children, or at least preteens at the very least. I'll give you that. Maybe preteen. And then you totally switch it up. All in the name of artistry. Y'all are giving him too much of a pass. There has to be some sort of accountability for the switch up. It just gotta be. Continue.
Roblox. He definitely went on Sesame Street. He did perform Old Town Road at a gym with a bunch of kids.
Who is watching that? So he, in one breath, says, yeah, he did a bunch of kid stuff when he first came out with Old Town Roads. Yeah. Regardless of the fact that he was talking about adultery and lean. Yeah. He was on Sesame Street, living it up. But now he's giving lap dances. What's the problem? Just because he did that doesn't mean. Shoe fly don't bother me. Let's go.
Since when does that mean he's a for kids artist? Why are people acting like it's new for singers to perform their songs for a bunch of children? It's not about the content of the music. It's about what the kids are listening to. The reason he gets invited to these places is because children are listening to that. That's not on him. That's on the parents. And here's what I mean by this. Here we have Travis Scott performing a Fortnite concert. What is this? Do we honestly think that this was for kids?
Okay. Let's look at the Fortnite community. Let's look at the Roblox community. Yes, there are children that play Fortnite. Yes, there are adults that play Roblox. But the marketing and the age range varies vastly between the two platforms. That's all I got to say about that. A lot of the times you see people on Fortnite, baby, they grown niggas. They are fully consenting adults out here playing shoot 'em up, bang bang games with their friends. And then you have a handful of children that are on there cussing and getting loose with the rest of them. But for the most part, they're teenage to adults. That's the target audience for Travis Scott. That is the target audience in Fortnite. If Travis Scott was going after smaller children or a younger age range, if that was his fan base, I guarantee you, he too would be on Roblox. And he too would be on Sesame Street. You don't see these things because a lot of his fan base ain't there. They cater to where their fan base is. So it's just, you cannot come out and say, hey, boom, I'm finna do this totally new thing after you just did a whole cartoon holiday video. I would watch Holiday so y'all can see what I'm saying, but y'all have to watch it on your own time. I ain't got time for you two to be hitting me with no copyrights today. Let's continue.
I mean, yeah, it was. What I'm saying is, do we honestly think this was designed to appeal to adults? Didn't Post Malone do some sort of Pokemon concert as well? Like, come on, bruh. An animated Post Malone floating around a bunch of animated Pokemon. Now, granted, even though I'm...
Okay. So Post Malone probably performing one of his most notable songs and child-friendly songs in that type of platform. However, we still know that a lot of Post Malone's content is not kid-friendly. We know this already. He didn't come out the gate touring elementary schools trying to get his rise to fame. People are trying to give him a pass, and it's not cool. It's not cool to try to just completely disregard the way other people feel because you feel as though. Let's let him make his point. I don't want to make any points before he makes his point.
I'm an adult. This is still my jam right here. It's not a new concept. You can say Fortnite's not technically a children's game like Roblox is thought of as, or like Sesame Street's a children's program. Then answer me this. What is this? Who invited Migos to the Kids' Choice Awards in 2019? The Migos don't even have songs that are okay for a child to hear. And on top of that, why was no one mad about that? It's almost like there's some key difference.
The Migos are a part of pop culture now. Hip hop is a part of pop culture now. There's a lot of people who have been on Nickelodeon who have done things that are not, that have been on the Kids' Choice Awards that have done things that are not for children. So, not to try to contradict myself, that wasn't their decision. Yes, it was a good move, but again, they are pop culture icons right now. They've been in the game for how long? I won't calculate it. You do your own calculating. They've been in the game for a minute. So, they're pop culture, they're icons. They probably were getting an award. Again, you cannot expect parents to monitor every single thing that their children intake. The problem is, and again, the Migos did not come out the gate marketing towards children, targeting children. When they came out, they was trying to be trap niggas, shooters, drug dealers, so on and so forth. So you know their target audience was hood niggas. As time went on and their popularity increased and they became more mainstream, these opportunities were afforded to them. This is not where they started and then came out with their crotches out on a pole. I've never heard the Migos say anything about doing anything with Satan, with the devil, doing any of those things. The fact of the matter is, Lil Nas X took a whole religion and felt totally comfortable with disrespecting it in order to make his point. And on top of that, as he was marketed as a kid-friendly rapper, said, damn all that, I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care if your children saw it. And that's perfectly okay. As an artist, you have every right to do that. But you can't possibly expect people to not be somewhat upset about it. That's unfair. Because I promise you, he wouldn't have got out there playing with the Jewish community like that. He wouldn't have got out there playing with the Muslims like that. He wouldn't have got out there playing with any other religious entity. But Christianity has always been the easiest to target and always been the easiest to offend. And it just is what it is. And that therein lies the problem.
Between Lil Nas X doing this and everyone else doing this beforehand, I wonder if it's
Don't.
homophobia.
Oh, and there it is. And boom goes the dynamite. He said, I wonder if it's homophobia. If you're just tuning in, we're reacting to D'angelo Wallace. Feel free to comment and give me your take on it. But D'angelo Wallace reacted to Lil Nas X Lil Nas X whole thing with the doggone shoes in the video. So that's what we're talking about now. Again, the point made here. People feel this way about Lil Nas X because of homophobia. We're going to ignore all of the blatant, obvious differences between what these artists that you have brought up are doing versus what Lil Nas X did. That's what we're going to do. And then just shove it all into this one little umbrella of, you're homophobic. I absolutely hate when people do that. It totally demeans anything anybody else is saying just based off of straight up, oh, you're homophobic. Why do I have to be, hey, what's up, it's Vanna? Why do I have to be homophobic in order to disagree with you? Why does it have to be that I just hate all the gays? I hate the whole gay community because I don't agree with something that you've done. See, that homophobia is a very dangerous word and a very dangerous label to slap on people. You calling people homophobic because they disagree with the bull that y'all are putting out into the universe, and I won't even say y'all, that he decided to put out into the universe, is totally unfair. And it's asinine to slap that label on everybody. Nobody cares that Lil Nas X is gay. Nobody commented on the fact that Lil Nas X was gay. We commented on the fact that you got a snake in the garden simulating fellatio. We commented on the fact that you got the boy sliding on a stripper pole to hell. We commented on the fact that the boy is simulating sexual acts with Lucifer himself. We commented on the fact that it was sacrilegious and disrespectful to a whole entire religious section of the world. Okay? Those were the complaints. Not once did anybody say, oh, that nigga gay. We hate this because he's gay. Everybody just assumes that, okay, you have this opinion because he is this way. That's an easy out if you ask me. It's about responsibility and accountability. Take accountability for the actions that you take. You have the freedom to express yourself in whatever artistic way that you feel. But us as consumers and the niggas you relying on to support you have every right in the world to respond in a way we see fit. And that has 0% to do with your sexuality. So take another excuse and write it out. Because that one's old, it's washed, it's done, it's tired, it's through. But I knew we were getting to that point. So that's why I said, look, I don't want to come to any conclusions before he actually says it, but I'm going to let him come to the conclusion for us, and he just did. If you're tuning in, we're reacting tonight. Welcome.
Because it seems like anytime this happens, but it's not like gay material, no one really seems to care. The moment we have somebody who is not rapping about hetero relationships, all of a sudden, think of the children, and it's a problem. He's corrupting the kids. I can't help but notice a little bit of an incongruency. One thing that people...
Please pull out the receipts, Mr. D'Angelo Wallace. Pull out the receipts. And they need to be doing exactly what Lil Nas X is doing in order for me to even consider it a receipt. Because if we're going to be comparing apples and oranges, then let's just do that. Because again, the Migos showing up invited to the Kids' Choice Awards, just like The Rock has been invited to the Kids' Choice Awards. Kevin Hart has been invited to the Kids' Choice Awards. There are plenty of adult acts that have been invited to the Kids' Choice Awards for being popular. I'm sure, I don't know if Lil Nas X was ever invited to the Teen Choice Awards or the Kids' Choice Awards, but I'm sure it wouldn't be outside of the norm. That is something that they do. But I haven't seen a popular act that has made fun of Christianity, well, not even made fun of, but bended the views of Christianity to their will in order to make an artistic point and not receive backlash. It just happens that he is receiving backlash and he happens to be gay. It is what it is. Y'all put way too much on this gay aspect of it. If you ask me, people that are, ooh, you homophobic, y'all be pulling that trigger all the time. As far as I'm concerned, y'all be the ones making the difference. Because I'll speak for me, I never made it about him being gay. It is what it is. He's gay. He love who he love. But you out here popping your crotch on a pole and making sweet love to the devil. And like 2 seconds ago, you had folks line dancing. And you expect everybody to just embrace it. When you're trying to do, words to the wise, when you're trying to do innovative things and you're trying to, think outside the box and be on the bleeding edge, you got to be the first one to land on that sword so that the other niggas coming behind you can soar. You know what I'm saying? There's always got to be a first to do it, and they are always going to be the ones to suffer. Such is life. Get over it.
Kept quoting was Lil Nas X explicitly saying that children are his core audience right now. He didn't say this. Look, they talk about Lil Nas X's kids book, C is for Country. This is the part where they stop quoting Lil Nas X and they start quoting somebody who's not associated with him anymore. It says marketing to kids directly makes perfect sense when you look at how huge Old Town Road is with the elementary school set. Lil Nas X catered to and resonated with that younger demographic.
Okay. It says it all. Regardless if it was from Lil Nas X or not, it was somebody who was associated with him. Just because they're not associated anymore doesn't mean that that was not the target audience at one point. So all that just blows right out the window because, well, they're not associated with him anymore. That's done. That's a closed chapter. But that just erases all the marketing, all the planning, all the rollouts, all the books, all the tours, all the children that were involved. It just, that X's that out because they're not involved with that individual.
Says Dan Runcie, whoever that is, the founder of Trapital. Lil Nas X says he isn't particularly self-conscious about his extremely young fan base. I'm well aware that life and careers and everything goes in chapters, the rapper says. That's the chapter I'm in right now, and I'm okay with that. It's the main evidence that people bring up to be like, no, Lil Nas X is definitely a kid's performer, and he knew that a bunch of children were going to watch that. Even the article that they throw around does not say that. NPR just summarized their opinion as that, but as you can see, he just said, that's what my audience happens to be, not, yes, I purposely create my songs so that children listen to them.
All right. Again, misconception with what the opposing parties are saying. Nobody said that when he came out, it was in his mind that I'm going to be a kid's rapper. Let's clarify. Nobody said that when he released his song that he said my intended audience is children. No. But when it came out and the audience became children, He did not shy away from that. He didn't try to gain another audience or another type of fan base. He continued to market to children because those were the people consuming his content. So my question to D'Angelo is, at that point, did he then think they suddenly went away in the making of Montero? Did he suddenly think those children that he was marketing to were just all of a sudden supposed to go, all right, well, screw them. I got my money off of them, so now it's time for me to do something different? Is that what we are to believe? Because if so, when he made that It's a Holiday song, he sure didn't seem like he was trying to get rid of the children. That's a subtle thing. Even when Hannah Montana had to eventually grow up, she had to phase out of Hannah Montana. She couldn't just come, boom, I'm a thought pocket, I'm shaking it on the stage. She couldn't just boom and do it. It was, you could see it was a gradual separation from the Disney character. Then she had a sweet little subtle homie. What's the word that I'm thinking of, y'all? Shoot. Wholesome. There we go. Wholesome image for a little while. Then the content started getting a little bit more racy, talking about being up in the clubs. Y'all remember Party in the USA? And then next thing you know, she was with Mike Will Maiden and them. Because I guess folks wasn't getting the message when the content wasn't in. Everybody has those days. Everybody makes mistakes. When it became, oh, they not getting it. Then she hopped on the nigga train. But it was gradual. It didn't just happen. This literally just went from, I'm going to grab my horse on the lonely road, whatever the song is, and went to boom, stripper poles and Satan. It was just an extreme change. But let's not say anything about it. Let's not make any remarks because he's gay and it's going to be homophobic if you do. Stop it. Y'all get the right, people get the right to express themselves however they want when they are part of certain communities. But when the opposing community, or, well, I won't say opposing, but when other people on the outside speak on it, you homophobic. It just doesn't make any sense. I just don't think that's fair.
Next, I wanted to talk about gun girl Caitlyn Bennett. So she says right here, it's week like these that I'm thankful to be blocked by Lil Nas X. I'm gonna be honest, that's not really a flex. This is a flex right here. Lil Nas X blocking you because literally no one on the internet likes you is whatever. But me getting blocked out of the millions of people that Jeffree Star sees on his timeline, that's when people are gonna be like, oh snap, how'd you pull that one off? Also, bullying and harassment guidelines, bullying and harassment guidelines, bullying and harassment guidelines. But why he look like Halsey though? Who told him to go get the Demi Lovato special? So Lil Nas X retweeted right here, I still see your tweets. And then of course he makes a reference to the popular anecdote that Caitlyn Bennett is well known for pooping her pants at a party. So she continues to try to go back and forth, saying the guy that takes it up the you-know-where from Satan wants to talk about pooping your pants. Slightly homophobic, right? Of course. Do you still...
How? Where's the homophobia? When I think homophobia, I think someone discriminating, or let's just say, okay, we're on a bus and you're flamboyantly gay. I don't want to sit next to you because you're gay. I don't want your gay to rub off on me. Things like that I find homophobic. Or I don't want to be anywhere in the presence. You shouldn't be speaking to me because you're gay. Those things are homophobic to me. Discriminatory actions and statements because someone is gay. Me clapping back at you because you made a reference to me doodling on myself back in the back. And me saying, oh yeah, coming from somebody who, you know, participates regularly in anal activity. You want to talk about somebody doodling. That, I find that, in my opinion, it's not homophobic. But clearly you breathe the wrong way at a gay person and you're homophobic. So
You'll see your dad asking that to a random black person.
okay,
who's
I think
annoying.
we saw
And
this
Lil
tweet when
Nas
we were
X
reacting
says,
initially.
yes. And I write, screw yours. So then, this is how she spins this, okay? You ready for this? Lil Nas X just threatened to, yes, you're reading it correctly. And then she follows it up with a, sounds about what I'd expect. Thus, once again,
I really don't have too much to say about this white girl. I'm not too big of a fan of her, so do what you do, Lil Nas X, with that one. But I just have to, disagree with some of the things that D'Angelo Wallace are saying. As far as she's concerned, I could give a damn. Rip her a new one.
again, associating the
She's
LGBT
trash.
community with like literal rape. It's not like Lil Nas X is the inventor of the phrase, oh yeah, I'm going to have sexual relations with your parents. And also, aren't these the same people who are always complaining about people being professional victims? She goes ahead and finishes it up with, at least I can procreate. Child, it's not the serve you think it is. But this is really reinforcing
now
some
she might
really
on the low
dark,
be,
twisted stuff
a little
that is going to
homophobic.
harm
You
her
know
in
how
the long
them,
run. Obviously, this is meant as a homophobic insult, like, ha, you can't
You know
have
how them
kids. But it
transparent people
very
be.
much at the same time is saying, I exist to have children. So next, we have the shoes, which wound up becoming a big deal. After seeing that people were so angry over the fact that Lil Nas X had quote-unquote demonic imagery in his shoes, he was like, it's time to make some schmuck.
Big city dealers are stuck in their old ways. When it comes to giving you a great deal,
boom. There we
Money.
go.
Well, even more money than he's already making. And so he partners with the brand Mischief to put out custom Satan Nikes featuring human blood. The fact that there's blood in the sole, very much a lot. But if that's what you want, then go for it. People, again, got mad at this. There's obviously a much deeper subtext to all of this, okay? At the heart of the issue, it's what it says in this tweet. I spent my entire teenage years hating myself because of the stuff y'all preached would happen to me because I was gay. So I hope you are mad, stay mad, feel the same anger you teach us to have towards ourselves. To get angry at Lil Nas X for reclaiming something that
It's a respect thing. That's all I have to say on that. I can't take his experience, his childhood experiences away from him. Because I do know that a lot of people in the LGBTQ, and the rest of the letters, community, they do face a lot of backlash and they do have to fight sometimes for their very existence. They do come across a lot of hate. I'm never taking that from anybody. I'm never taking that from anybody. That is not the goal, to try to strip him of his experience and strip him of his right to embrace the very things that were said to him to break him down. However, you would not see him do this with any other religion that preaches the same thing. Christianity is not the only religion that preaches the same message about homosexuality and about it being condemned and all that other good stuff. So why did you feel so comfortable with disrespecting that particular religious sect? Because you just knew nothing was going to happen to you outside people being outraged. And Nick Cannon made the mere reference to black people being the original chosen children of God. Jewish people had a field day with that boy's career. Lost all his hosting gigs and the very show the man created from ground up. Do you hear me? Lost the very show he created brick by brick, blood, sweat, and tears. They ripped that from him and said, oh no, sir. You respect us. But it's okay for him to say these things about Christianity. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, I'm just a devout Christian and I'm in the church every Sunday. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is you have to kind of expect people to lash out when you're disrespecting something that a lot of people live and die by. And you go make a whole shoe devoted to the very nigga that's trying to take their souls and ruin the world. In Christianity's view. But go off, though. We almost done. We got like 2 more minutes.
That has been so harmful towards him, while also pretending that you're a victim, is ridiculous. Even if you're a
Follow
Christian,
me on Twitter.
surely
looking
you
at the Twitter.
understand. Surely you know in your heart of hearts that this is accurate.
Wait,
it doesn't
mad
matter
about
if you
underscore
believe
T.
what's in the Bible and you think it's right and all of that, which is great. You still know that this is true, right? That the entire video was an art piece depicting him fighting back against the pain of being labeled someone who's going straight to hell because of the way he was made. But when you look at what these people are really saying, a sane country would make it.
I just feel like there was a more tasteful way that he probably could have approached that. Again, it's about the transition. He just boom hit everybody about it. I know it was about the shock value. I know it was in order to get everybody talking like we're talking now. But I just feel like there just had to be a more tasteful way to convey that message. He probably could have had the same concept. The same concept just done just a little more tasteful. But you know how I am. I've already said this. I am a prude. I don't like looking at a bunch of hypersexual stuff. That just ain't me. I'm not sitting here consuming it. It's just not something that I do. It makes me uncomfortable. I've said that before. And that has with homosexuality, heterosexuality, any kind of sexuality, watching it and almost like they're trying to, I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable. I don't like looking at stuff like that. I don't like talking about it. It just ain't my deal. You know? But that's me. And it ain't even got nothing to do with him being gay. That's just me with sexuality, period. But continue. Same country would make it illegal for Lil Nas X and his handlers to corrupt and destroy. Okay. Like,
Illegal.
they're not already corrupted. But
read that. Illegal for Lil Nas X and his handlers to corrupt and destroy America's children. It's very bigoted and definitely a little bit fascist to pretend like art should be destroyed and removed and not played because they don't agree with it. As for my final summary, Lil Nas X is not out here corrupting the kids. I don't really understand why people are holding him to this standard, except for homophobia and racism. Those make sense, and that would explain the double.
Where do we get racism from? Now, this is what we just throw a bunch of bad stuff on top of it and say, this is why you disagree. You have to be only disagreeing because of this. Why can't I just disagree because I don't like it? It doesn't have to be because he's gay. But see, this is the cancel culture that we're breeding in America these days. You say anything out of line against anybody and you're hating, you're canceled, you're homophobic, you're this, you're that. And it's like, golly, I just can't have an opinion on something. It's got to be because he's gay. Again, when I reviewed it, and, you know, if you go back and look at it, you know, if you're catching this on the replay, if you go back and watch my reaction to it, like I said, a lot of it is going to be cut. But if you caught it live, I never once mentioned the fact that he's gay in it. Or that I have an issue with him expressing the fact that he's gay. From the lyrics in the song, it would be hypocritical of me to condemn him for the lyrics in his song when you got the City Girls, Meg Thee Stallion, every rapper known to man out here saying sexually explicit things in all of their lyrics. That would be hypocritical of me to turn around and say, well, you can't say it because you're gay, buddy. That would be crazy of me. I'm the lyrics to the song, you know, it ain't outside of the norm for a rapper to be rapping about sexual things. He's just rapping about sexual things with the person, with the man he's attracted to. Hey, it is what it is. The visual just could have been a little more tasteful. That's all I'm saying.
Standard. But other than that, I'm not quite sure where people are coming from. As for Lil Nas X, I think he may just be the greatest businessman in the music industry since Beyonce. And as for the people who are mad at him, they seem to have some underlying issues that don't have anything to do with his music video or a pair of custom Nikes that sold out in 1 minute. Catch me featured on the next Lil Nas X song. Anyway, I'll be here all week, folks, at 2 p.m. Central Time. If it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that means I'm uploading.
Okay. Anyway, Again, like I said, love D'Angelo, love his content. I watch a lot of his videos. He's really thorough with a lot of his research. He really takes his time to kind of dive into things. I just feel as though he kind of missed the mark on this one, in my opinion, because he threw that whole homophobic cast all over it, and that just really just sullied it for me, because everything ain't homophobic. Some people could just genuinely be feeling disrespected by the visual. Some people could literally be like, okay, I let my child listen to Lil Nas X, and then that's what he doing. He's out there popping on a handstand. Yeah, some people could genuinely feel like that and then not be homophobic. I feel like that is really what took the cake, and that's what really, kind of ruined it for me is, that whole, oh yeah, you homophobic, that's why you don't like it. That is so played. Now, granted, there may be some people who don't like it because they're homophobic, but there is a majority of people who are just entitled to not like the content. Everything ain't for everybody. And I feel like, again, to portray the message and y'all trying to call it art, that was damn near porn. If you want to be real, that was damn near porn. And there was nothing in my mind that was artistic about it. I feel like it could have been a very profound concept if it wasn't just so overtly sexual. I feel like the concept in him taking back the words that were said to him and flipping it around, it just could have been done a lot better. It could have truly been done artistically. That still gave me a cartoony vibe. It still gave me, kiddie surface level shit. That's what it gave me. But, you got an opinion on it, so you got to be homophobic. It's getting late, y'all. That's all I got for y'all today. We just did a quick little reaction. Some quick church announcements. I didn't do it in the beginning of the video because I was already late. But I've come up with somewhat of an official schedule for now. Mondays, this video was supposed to be done Monday, but I had some issues with the TV that I'm still having now. But Mondays, I will be doing reactions. Tuesday is going to be Real Talk Tuesdays. Tune in if you want to see some real talk. We can get into some things. And then Friday Night Live. That will be where we will be going over all the hot topics and everything that went down over the week. So y'all be prepared for that. I'm going to be sticking to this schedule as strictly as I can. If you don't see something scheduled, then more than likely I'm not going live. If it's not scheduled by at least 8 o'clock, go to bed, sis. Go to bed. Because that's where I am. I work full time. I got a lot going on. Okay? So, again, Mondays are going to be reactions. If y'all want to send me clips to react to or bull clips for, hey, woohoo. Yeah, I know, girl. If you want to send me bull clips, for Friday Night Live and you want to send me things to react to, please send them to my email. It is yourmadaboutt@gmail.com. That is the letter U, the letter R, madaboutt@gmail.com. And like I said, we're working on one social media platform at a time. So for the time being, we're working on Twitter. Follow your girl. She's struggling. madabout_T on Twitter. I'm working on posting regularly, so your judgment. As we've stated, you can keep it. But yeah, for the most part, that's it, you guys. I'll see you all Friday at 9:30 p.m. And I'm out. Hold on, y'all. It's finna go black. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay.